I'm Non-Zero Sum James, your companion on this exploration of win-win games. The Ultimatum Game. Take it or leave it. Now this is a quick little episode to introduce an idea that will actually show up later on in many episodes. The Ultimatum Game is one alternative to the prisoner's dilemma when introducing game theory. In this game, you are given $10. To keep the money, you have to give a portion of the $10 away to another player. If we take the contained, rational, and self-interested assumptions of game theory, the dominant strategy is simple: give the other player as little as possible. The catch is, if the other player rejects your offer, you both get nothing. This is the Ultimatum Game, a form of take-it-or-leave-it bargaining. The Ultimatum Game is a powerfully simple game theory scenario because it introduces a number of key concepts. This is why it's going to appear in numerous episodes down the line. So, some examples of where it's going to be useful in the future. When exploring negative moral licensing, we'll be looking at studies that use the Ultimatum Game to understand human perceptions of injustice. The studies found that humans have an innate bias towards equitable treatment for good evolutionary reasons. Then, in relative gains, how not to measure success, we will ask what happens when the Ultimatum Game is played with counters or real money, to draw attention to the nature of different payoffs. Because fairness generally concerns relative value between the players. It stands to reason that player 2 would reject anything less than an equal share, because to accept less is essentially to lose the game. But when real money is involved, absolute value comes into play, in that the money has real value outside of the relative relationship between the players. And so, player 2 might be willing to take a smaller offer to gain real money. Later on, when we look at more advanced concepts, in Jaiveer Singh's Subgame Perfection, the Ultimatum Game is used as an example of an extensive form game to illustrate subgame perfect Nash equilibrium. Now, you don't need to know what that is right now, but Jaiveer explores how the game conflicts with commonly held norms around fairness, and, like with the prisoner's dilemma, finds that these conflicts are mitigated with the introduction of iterated games. In real life, I know as a freelance filmmaker, I deal with take-it-or-leave-it bargaining every few months. I'll state my fee, and if a producer accepts, then I'll take the job. If not, I won't. But in a small industry, often I'll take a lower offer to build a relationship with someone I enjoy working with. So the dynamics of iterative games come into play. Flexibility and acknowledgement of externalities, future jobs, a harmonious working environment, become rational factors. Just don't tell my clients this. So, ultimatum games are prevalent in our lives because no matter how you slice it, every negotiation comes down to a final offer, an ultimatum. It's where things get real. And so our behaviour, when faced with such an ultimatum, reveals a lot about what we really want and what motivates us. So if you've been following our quest for a new poster child for game theory, one that captures the interplay of strategic rationality and human fairness, you can't go past the Ultimatum Game.